Good afternoon to you. 4 p.m. East African time here in Nairobi, Kenya. I trust your day is coming along well enough. We begin updating you on the latest at this hour. Now, Nairobi Central Police Station OCS Chief Inspector Dishen Ongoye was Tuesday morning admitted to Langata Hospital after reportedly developing health complications following his arrest over the release of dozens of suspects detained during Monday's nationwide fuel protests. According to a police report seen by TV47, the senior officer complained of high blood pressure at the time of his detention after being arrested over allegations of abuse of office. Police accused Ongoye of unlawfully authorizing the release of 64 suspects arrested during Monday's anti-government protests linked to rising fuel prices and the escalating cost of living.
We are here today to stand in solidarity with Dishen Ongoye, OCS Central Police Station, who is being persecuted. He has been arrested, he was kept in cells, he was denied medical attention despite having a blood pressure issue for more than 10 hours. And he's now at least been brought to Langata Hospital where the doctors are attending to him. And he has been arrested and dragged through all those things because he released 48 protesters allegedly. And it is well within his power, within his authority.
Jana kulikuwa na watu wengi sana Nairobi, kulikuwa na ulinzi mkali, kulikuwa na uharibifu wa mali, ama hakuna mtu ambaye alipigwa risasi. Sasa wale ambao walishikwa wote walikuwa ni watu walikuwa ndani nyumbani, ama walikuwa na bendera ama vibango. Wakashikwa kupelekwa Central. OCS akona powers za kuachilia wafungwa ambao hawana hatia yoyote. Na kabla awaachilie alipewa nguvu na OCPD. Akaambiwa waachilie watu kwa sababu hawana hatia yoyote. Baada ya kuwaachilia watu kwenda nyumbani, jioni kulikuwa na press conference by Murkomen ambao ilisemekana kuna watu 300 ambao wameshikwa. Lakini wale watu 300 hawakuwa kwa sababu walikuwa shaachiliwa. Sio kasemana kwamba lazima watu wengine walaumiwe. Unajua kwamba jana watu walipigwa risasi wakaumizwa, so lazima tutafutiwe makosa. OCS ni rafiki wa Wakenya. Ukiangalia hapa kuna Wakenya wengi sana. Yes. Hao Wakenya wote wamekuja kuunga mkono Bwana Dishen. Nasema kwamba akienda kotini tutamtolea bond, tutampigania na polisi wote Kenya mzima.
Right, away from that and onto the Matatu suspended strike, public transport operators have suspended their nationwide strike following talks with the government over rising fuel prices. The operators suspended the strike until next Tuesday to allow for further negotiations with the government. The move comes after the nationwide strike, which brought Nairobi and other parts of the country to a standstill for a second day. On at least 4 people were killed and 30 injured in Monday's protests, with more than 700 arrested nationwide, according to the authorities.
The stakeholders in the transport sector. Understandably, the stakeholders in the public transport sector had requested for a reduction of 46 shillings, and they are still agitating for further reduction despite the 10 shillings reduction that happened last night. Following a consultation meeting this morning between the government and the representatives, it was agreed that that there was need for negotiations between the government and the stakeholders at a high level, and that it was agreed that that there was need for negotiations between the government and the stakeholders at a high level, and that those negotiations must be undertaken within the next 1 week. That in the interceding period between now and Tuesday, 26th May of 2026, that the strike that is ongoing is suspended for a period of 1 week to provide an avenue for consultation, negotiation between the government.
And away from that, President William Ruto's ruling party has come out strongly to defend his leadership amid growing public anger over rising fuel prices. UDA Secretary General Hassan Omar says critics should stop what he termed as distraction and instead wait for the 2027 elections to express their dissatisfaction democratically. Omar warned against protests and unrest, insisting Kenya's leadership transition must follow constitutional processes despite a mounting pressure over the high cost of living.
Since the beginning of the current crisis, 11,42,500,425 shillings has been applied as a stabilization mechanism, and plans are in place to ensure that Petroleum Development Levy or fund is applied in the subsequent cycles to reduce the negative effects. Without these interventions, fuel prices by now will have exceeded 300 shillings per litre. Effective today, the 19th May 2026 to 14th June 2026, and following the petition by public transport operators to curb fuel adulteration caused by the wide diesel kerosene price gap, EPRA has revised fuel pricing accordingly. Diesel has decreased by an additional 10.06 shillings per litre, while kerosene has increased by 38.6 shillings per litre. The move reflects government's goodwill and commitment towards easing pressure on the public transport sector and facilitating an amicable solution or resolution to the current impasse.
From the capital, we switch focus to Nakuru, where residents have expressed a mixed reaction after the government reached an agreement with matatu operators, leading to the suspension of the matatu strike. Some residents termed the move by the Matatu Owners Association as a betrayal to Kenyans, arguing that the strike was called off before fuel prices were fully reduced.
Kulingana na baadhi ya vile wamefikiana, mimi ninasema hiyo kitu ni mzuri na ninashukuru kwa sababu watu wa matatu wamefanya kitu mzuri vile wameelewana. Yangu kuhimiza serikali ni waangalie wananchi, wapunguze bei ya mafuta, kwa sababu ukiangalia bei ya mafuta inapoenda juu, kila kitu gharama ya maisha inapanda.
Mgomo umemalizwa, lakini sijafurahia kwa sababu mafuta unawezaje kutuambia utupandishie na shilingi 40 alafu tutole shilingi 10. Hiyo shilingi 10 urudishe kwa mafuta taa. Hata mafuta taa kuna wenye wanategemea mafuta taa. Kuna wengine wanatumia stove, kuna wengine wanatumia hizi mataa za kitambo hizi. Hao pia wanaumia. Na hao pia ni Wakenya kama sisi. Sisi tunataka mafuta irudi 170. Na kama hiyo itarudi, mande bado tuko barabara.
Watu wengi wanaharibu mandoa kwa sababu ya pombe. Na wanataka kupandisha pombe. Ile kitu yenye inasaidia watu wote ndiye anapandisha kwa nini? Ajiulize hiyo swali. Na kama anataka tu term, atupunguzie hapo mafuta.
And still on matters fuel, presidential hopeful Eliud Owalo has blamed the crisis on excessive fuel taxation, poor government policies and non-competitive fuel import systems. Owalo is proposing several solutions, including reducing the 8% VAT on fuel, reviewing fuel levies and reforming the government-to-government oil deal. Owalo has also called for investment in local oil refining, strategic fuel reserves and alternative energy sources to help stabilize fuel prices and reduce the burden on citizens.
The current monthly fuel price review cycle by EPRA is not sufficiently responsive during periods of extreme volatility. We need to introduce more frequent reviews, particularly during global crises, as is the situation now, to ensure that reductions in international oil prices are passed on to consumers more quickly. So, if we were thinking straight as a country, what we need to do instantly is to come up with policy interventions, fiscal or otherwise, that would ensure that the critical mass of 27 million Kenyans who are currently not paying tax are brought into the income bracket. If you bring them into the income bracket, correspondingly, because they'll be having disposable income, you will bring them into the what? Into the tax bracket. That is what we need to do. Which conferences are these which must be held in hotels in today's world of technology? Why can't these meetings be held virtually? Yeah? So those are revenue leakages and wastage, which if we cut down wastage in government, sealed loopholes for corruption, we will be good to go and we'll have enough resources.
And normalcy trickles back to West Pokot's crippled public transport sector as soaring fuel prices drastically slash passenger numbers. A spot check in Kapenguria town revealed a business standstill with most vehicles grounded except a few plying the Kitale route. Local traders like Stella Cherotich and boda riders including Alex Kuntai and Geoffrey Cheriot lamented the soaring cost of living and their sudden inability to service pressing bank loans.
Mgomo ambao unaendelea katika nchi ya Kenya umetuadhiri sisi kama wanabodaboda. Ukijaribu kuangalia sasa hivi bei ya mafuta imepanda juu. Ukiweka hata shilingi 400 haiwezi leta lita 2, haiwezi leta faida. So watu wa hapa wanafinyika.
Serikali apunguze mafuta. Sasa hata tuuzi chai. Mpaka saa 5 bado niko town, chai haipandi. Mabodaboda ndio wanatuchangia. Hakuna mtu ako na pesa ya kununua chai. Tunakaa sasa mpaka saa tuko town. Rais, tunaomba utupunguzie mafuta. Kama si hivyo mambo itachemuka.
And in the world of sports, Arsenal are on the brink of ending a 22-year wait for the Premier League title after edging Burnley 1-0 to move 5 points clear at the top of the table. Kai Havertz scored the only goal on Monday night with a well-taken header, and the Gunners could be crowned champions as early as Tuesday if City failed to beat Bournemouth. Even if Pep Guardiola's side overcome the Cherries and Aston Villa, Arsenal will still seal the title with victory over Crystal Palace on Sunday. Since their defeat to Manchester City last month, Arsenal have responded impressively, keeping 4 consecutive Premier League clean sheets. Today, we will see Chelsea entertain Spurs and Man City entertain Bournemouth. All right, that concludes the new TV47 at 4 p.m. with Sheila Chelangat. More updates at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Do enjoy the rest of your viewership. Good afternoon.